I'm guessing that you were planning to be in Statuary Hall for the signing ceremony that the president canceled. Do you care if he signs this or not? It becomes law at midnight either way.
It would have been nice if he had signed it. But my Republican colleague, Mike Flood, and I started doing this almost 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And I didn't think anybody thought at the time that it was going to go anywhere. But we continued to work, and I came to the conclusion that he was a good guy to work with, and he apparently thought I was a good guy to work with. And we started this legislation. It's actually a compilation of 50 different pieces of legislation. The president, as we were winding down on our work and getting ready to have a hearing on it, was complimentary and talked about how great this would be for the American public. And so therefore, there was a little shock, and I think maybe from some of the Republicans, there probably was some resentment that the president would then turn around and say that it's a yawn, that in other words, it's boring, and that he has no desire to participate in it, in spite of the fact that this is, without a doubt, a Republican or a Democrat would answer this, would say the same thing. It is the most consequential housing legislation in over almost a half century. And we thought that it would be great for the American public and for democracy, people all around the world, to see that the Republicans and the Democrats could work together, bringing in the public, because we held hearings and had people coming in from all over the country, and that they were able to move this major piece of legislation, and then Donald Trump throws water on it. I don't know who's advising him in the White House, but this was some bad advice. But nonetheless, at midnight, in just a few hours, this bill will become law.
It sure will. And I know, to your point, a lot of time has gone into this. Congressman, this is a personal project for you, and it comes with its critics. The president says it's a big yawn. Some have pointed out that it doesn't have the teeth that it had in its earlier versions, that build to rent, for instance, came out of the bill, and some of the institutional single-family home buying that has been talked about isn't actually as widespread as some people think. Tell us how quickly your constituents can see the benefits of this bill.
Well, first of all, the legislative process means that this bill will go to the appropriate committees that handle certain sections of it. Some of it will go, for example, to EPA. The majority of it will go to HUD. And then they have to do what we call rulemaking. And so that goes into the kind of general language that we put in the legislation to very specific language and requirements. But there are some things that we feel good about. I mean, the institutional housing is something that's not that widely done. I think that about 3% of the housing in the United States is owned by major corporations. But the president actually was one of the main spokespersons saying, well, housing is for people, not companies. And so it found its way into the bill late. And so remember, we made adjustments, and the only way we're going to function as an effective legislative body is if we work together. It means that we have to compromise. And you're right. There are some things that we had in the bill that Chairman Tim Scott and Ranking Member Elizabeth Warren didn't like. And so we went back and forth with them. Look, nobody should expect a successful legislative body if everybody has their way. I mean, we have to compromise. And so what has happened is we've got a German chocolate cake cut up with 2 people in the House, 2 people in the Senate. And what happens is all of us took a slice, and we believe we got the larger piece of the pie. The truth is, we all, lost a little that we wanted, and that's just unfortunately for people who want, perfect legislation. That's not. There will be no perfect legislation passed in the United States of America. That won't happen. There will be legislation that we try to get as close to perfection as we can, while at the same time not alienating people whose support we need for legislation to pass.
Well, Congressman, if I can move to another topic, you've been, of course, an advocate for election rights, voting rights, and election reform for the balance of your career. And the president's move today on the Election Assistance Commission seems meaningful. He removed the two Democratic members, the two Democratic commissioners, and allowed the Republican to resign. There are no commissioners on this panel now. This is the body that helps state and local officials run their elections. And it seems to be the latest move that the president is making in gearing up to the midterm elections. What do you think he's aiming for here? What's he up to?
Maybe two things. One is changing the discussion. And so with all the euphoria over this almost magical legislation we've gotten through, I think the president will have to go in some other direction to get attention. And this certainly has gotten attention because what it does more than anything impactful, I mean, this is an advisory committee. So what it does is that it continues to send out a message, albeit incorrectly or incorrect, that our elections are being jeopardized by people who are dead, who are voting, and people from other countries are voting. I mean, everybody's heard it all, and so just firing these individuals will cause some people to think, well, boy, this must be really, really awful, and so as a result, he continues to get some people, I don't think the majority, but he's getting some people who will say, well, it must be really bad out there. When you look at the number of people who tried to commit crimes by voting illegally, it is minuscule. And some of the things the president's talking about, less than 1% of the public or voters tried to do some of the things he's out talking about. And we're talking mail-in ballots. Look, the president has done it, mail-in ballots. He and his family. It's something that in the past, Republicans had a very good operation, at least here in Missouri. I mean, they had a mail-in ballots down. None of us thought they were cheating. You know, they were just good at getting the ballots out to seniors. So
do you think the president gets his Save America Act? Because that appears to be the next chapter here, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have the votes to get that going. I mean, I think he's going to continue to beat those drums, but he doesn't have the votes for that. And I think most members of Congress don't want to continue to send the signal to the American public and to the people around the globe that somehow there's something illegal and sinister going on when we have elections. The president's really not involved in this. The elections are run by states. And so right. In some ways, this is meddling, and it's dangerous meddling because there are people who are thinking, well, he's the president of the United States. He must know what he's talking about. He doesn't. And I think he's dangerous as it relates to this voting thing because we have, by even Republican accounts, one of the safest election systems on planet Earth. And the president just doesn't like it because he lost an election to Joe Biden. And he's got to find a reason for having lost that election other than he was just beaten by Joe Biden.